This video will look at celebratory speaking. There are 4 different categories of speeches that are meant to celebrate. These can be speeches of recognition, so recognizing someone for an honor, speeches of praise or blame, speeches of inspiration or encouragement, and also speeches that mourn a loss, so for example, a eulogy. Speeches of recognition, when you are giving this type of speech, you usually highlight a person's accomplishments or their character. There's 3 basic kinds of speeches of recognition. This can include an introduction to a bigger speech. It could include a presentation that you're giving, or it could include an acceptance to an award that you're receiving. When you're giving an introduction speech and you're introducing a speaker, you want to make sure that the audience feels welcomed, so you welcome them to the event. You explain who you are and why you're there, and you also acknowledge who is the upcoming speaker and what this speaker is going to speak about. You can describe the speaker's background, give a brief biography, and list their accomplishments and also why they are speaking. And then at the end of your introduction, you ask the audience to welcome the speaker. Speeches of introduction are generally short. The audience is waiting to see the main event, the main speaker. You're just the one to introduce them. When you are giving a presentation speech, it generally is the type of speech where you're going to present an award to someone or give someone an honor. So you explain what the award or honor is, you talk about the person's accomplishments and background, and then you present them with the award. Now, if you receive an award or an honor, you would give an acceptance speech. So some of the things that you should do in an acceptance speech is you should express gratitude for receiving the award. So thank the people that are giving you the award. Express how much the award means to you. So how much it means to you, how it might help you, maybe that you've done, so much work that you feel really honored to have received this. And then you also want to recognize others who helped you along the way. So, for example, if you were given, say, a scholarship award, and you had your parents, your family, helped you along the way. You had a teacher maybe that really inspired you, or your classmates. So mention the people that helped you to get to that award. Another type of celebratory speech is a toast. So toasts are usually delivered while hoisting a beverage. You express your feelings of appreciation to the audience. So you thank the audience for being there. You introduce yourself and you discuss why you were there. So for example, if you were the best man or the maid of honor at a wedding, you would say who you were, how you know the bride or groom, why you're there speaking. You should share something like an anecdote, an experience that reflects your admiration for the community. So that means everyone that's in attendance, or the person that you are toasting. You usually close your toast by saying to whomever you're toasting to, and then you take a sip of your drink. Another celebratory type of speech is a roast. These are usually humorous teasings that are a tribute to an individual. There's usually a series of speakers that offer stories, jabs, playful insults. One of the best known roasts are done usually for the President of the United States at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, where multiple people will get up and roast the president, and it's usually a humorous teasing of the president. Another type of celebratory speech is a motivational speech. So motivational speaking is a speech that is meant to motivate us, to make us feel good about our communities, about ourselves, about the future. This can include things like church sermons, lectures, keynote speeches at a conference, so the main speech, and it's meant to inspire people to do great things. If you are asked to give a keynote address, some questions that you should ask is know how long you could speak. So if they want you to speak for an hour, you know how much to prepare. If they only want you to speak for 20 minutes, you know how much to prepare. A keynote address could really range from anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour and a half. Make sure when you give your speech that you thank the event host and the person who introduced you to the audience. Acknowledge the reason that you are speaking. So why are you there? Why did they pick you to speak? And then deliver a speech that relates to the occasion or highlights the general tone of the event. Make sure in advance that you ask the host who has asked you to speak if they have a specific topic they want you to speak on, so that you can motivate your audience. Another type of speech is the commemorative speech. This is could either be a rally, so it could stir positive feelings towards future successes, or it could be a commencement speech. So at a graduation, when someone gives a commencement speech, they usually talk about the accomplishments of the group, and they inspire the group to do great things and work hard in the future. Another type of speech is the speech to inspire. So you want to focus on the audience's mood. You want to push them towards feeling positive about the moment. You can be creative with this type of speech. You can use stories. You should be energetic. You should end with something that is memorable. So another story, a quote, something to leave the audience thinking. And then the last celebratory type of speech is a eulogy. And it's really a eulogy is a celebration of someone's life. So it's a speech that honors the deceased. And in this type of speech, you should acknowledge the death of this person, move the death from present to the past, indicate the deceased lives on in a different way, and bring the community, everyone that knew this person, back to unity. So some tips for giving eulogies. You should write it down. So you should be prepared in advance. When you have to give a eulogy, you might be upset, which is normal, and you want to have it written down so you have something to go back to. Try to keep your emotions in check while giving the speech. This can be hard. That's one of the reasons you should have it written down. You should mention your relationship with the person. So how do you know the person that you're giving the eulogy for? Acknowledge some of the important attendees. So like the person's immediate family, their spouse, their children, their brothers, sisters, anyone who's important that's in attendance. In a eulogy, you recall stories. So stories that you have remembrance with the person. You can acknowledge the person's accomplishments and good deeds that they did. And then remind the audience that they're united as a community because of this one person.